Good morning, everyone, and this is Neil Mukherjee calling in from Oxford. I'm your local journalist and commentator on current affairs issues, past, present, and future trends to come. It is quite clear that we have seen a lot of rollercoaster rides in recent history, and firstly I would like to congratulate the new President of the United States, Donald Trump. Congratulations, but first of all I would like to know, what in the world are you up to? What are you doing with all these new policies that you're putting into place that are breaking into governance and are impacting nations across the world, including Western nations and our United Kingdom? My first concerns I'm raising are your diversity inclusion politics and policies that you're putting into place. What are your intentions and what are you trying to achieve? Well, Suella Braverman doesn't know any better, nor does Nigel Farage, but they have been at it for quite some time to make this country a very difficult place to live in for all the British people who have been living here for all these years and the new settled British citizens across the nation. We are concerned that by looking at the diversity and exclusion politics that we're looking to see that's coming in very soon, watch this space, it's coming in, we're trying to find out what in the world is the integration policy of the United States and the United Kingdom. Now, the United Kingdom has been for many years a country of race relations and inclusion and integration. It hasn't done a great job about it, but it has tried to do the best it can. However, there's a lot of lessons we can learn from the policies that have been put into place on how integration has failed in our country. In the earlier years of the 50s, 60s and 70s, there was an inclusion policy of immersion into the education system and into the culture of British society. That changed when there was an understanding that there was a lack of interest to have this policy moving forward. So the British government and many other Western nations across the world decided to bring diversity in through segregation. That's the policy we're seeing to date. Diversity through segregation, where people are cooped up in their own communities. They are not allowed to immerse themselves into other communities. They're not allowed to engage with other communities as equals, but as people from a different background who are alien to one another and to each other. This is not the inclusion in the politics that we're looking for, and this is not the country that we're trying to develop for all the people of our nation. We are trying to make sure here in the United Kingdom that people can live together, happily together, working together, understanding each other, understanding each other's awareness of each other, each other's presence, personality, culture, identity, behaviour, etc. What we're not getting from the current government and from the likes of Suella Braverman and Nigel Farage is that they're trying to break the fabric of nationhood, break the fabric of a shared patriotism towards the nation, and instead use a formula of patriotism for the few against the many and the others who do not fit into the remit of patriotism that belongs to a narrow field of exclusionary politics, and also allows for the rulership of one group over the others. That's not equality, that's not justice, that's not a fairness of society that we want to live in. So, what are we looking at? We can see clearly that the diversity inclusion politics that has been happening to date has been of mixed responses. And we understand that. Now there are three options that we can move forwards with: diversity and segregation, diversity and inclusion, or something much more sinister and could bring in the remnants of 1930s German exclusion of German Jews, as Hitler pronounced in his words, the necessary exclusion of German Jews and Jews across Europe from the German Empire. Now, we have to be very careful here with what we are looking at here, because no empire has successfully succeeded to bring people together. What it has achieved is building infrastructure at the expense of breaking the fabric of society and people, and breaking the fabric of equality of justice and equality of citizenship. The nations that were ruled under the empire, whichever empire you may call for to interrogate or ask or more in questions about or to research, whether it's the German Empire or the British Empire or any other empire, it has been an empire of disaster. Now some people have benefited, but most of the people under the empire have had a tough time, trust me this. And the glorification of such things, such policies of empire and globalism, didn't happen by chance. Now, what the American side of politics that Trump is trying to put forward is he's anti-globalism. But we must remember globalism came from the empires of the world. That was the way globalism started. So if you want to really be true to national patriotism and national integrity and authenticity, you have to understand that globalism was started by the empires of the world. So it is our own history that is actually challenging the Western fabric of national integrity, authenticity and patriotism. Well, you can't have it both ways, Nigel. You can't have it both ways, Will. You can't be an empirist as well as a national patriot at the same time, because empires belong to globalism and national patriotism belongs to national integrity of the nation building. You can't have your cake and eat it both ways. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at a nation that is in division because it has a state of paradox. Suella, I must ask you this question. You have for many years been an advocate of exclusion, interrogation of the diversity of this nation. You've challenged British people who are not of one particular background. You have made one background fight against another background in conflict with each other. You have separated the nation's spirit from integrity and inclusion and a unity of togetherness. You want us to be stronger but not together. So what is your remit on integration for our country? How do you integrate people from diverse backgrounds, diverse ethnicities, diverse racial backgrounds, diverse faiths together as one united people? Well, I have the model for that, and I have had this model for many years in the palm of my hands. But I'm not going to share that with you. It has been shared to the Conservative Party and the Labour Party, by the way, for you to understand that you don't have a clue on how to bring this country together, nor does Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage is actually attempting to break this country, the fabric of this country, and is learning from the wrong apples in America to devastate our nation. We are at the crux of the matter here. This nation is at risk from the likes of Nigel Farage, Suella Braverman, and those importing the negativity, like Muskian politics, coming in. Well, I've got lots to say about Musk, but that'll be another time. Here, this is Neil Mukherjee signing out. It's been a pleasure to speak to you today. Take care, keep well, and stay attentive. Thank you so much. Bye for now.